Hey everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going over to Bitcoin, bigger the CoinsKid crew. So I'm seeing the potential of a lot of third waves in a lot of altcoins. For example, Cardano, VeChain, Chainlink, XRP as well, you know, and obviously some of the coins versus Bitcoin, which I've shown you on Twitter and in recent videos, you know, there's beautiful setups across the board. But obviously what we need to see going forward is Bitcoin breaking this resistance and remaining bullish in this bull market, because if it doesn't, obviously, then you know we're not going to get that fruits of the labor of the potential alt season that is potentially around the corner. Okay, so there are a lot of clues. For example, you know, I did make a video recently on the alt season. What we need to see, we need to see Bitcoin dominance hit that 60% ratio before we could expect an alt season. We've seen exactly that over the recent times. So that's a little bit of confidence right there. We've got the DXY, which is performing exactly as anticipated. We've got Bitcoin performing exactly as anticipated there. You know, this overlapping zigzag wave for correction, missing the final fifth wave. So I think that the opportunity doesn't necessarily lie with Bitcoin. I do think the opportunity will be in a lot of these altcoins. So do pay attention to that, okay? Because, you know, if I'm correct and we've got this last leg coming over the next few months into next year, which is just, you know, mirroring previous cycles, then, you know, we're going to make some money here on this channel, okay? So I wish I hadn't most look, but what we're doing so far, we've hit the halving and we're going sideways, and this is typically what we do. We go sideways for a bit and then we start to come back up with Bitcoin, and then, you know, it flourishes, and then that's where we get our alt season. So all the qualifications are there, the, you know, the DXY, the potential of the, you know, the bullish divergence, we're oversold on that pivot point, which I showed you in yesterday's video, and equally the, you know, the Bitcoin dominance. So all the key factors that I've looked at for many, you know, moons and years with you is right there staring us in the face. So what's going on Bitcoin now? The trouble is, at the minute, this could continue to correct. Basically, this could continue to, you know, sort of come down. We've got this potential broadening descending wedge pattern, and I love to trade patterns, as you're fully aware. You know, on this channel I always find patterns. For example, there's a massive pattern here I'm going to show you in a moment, but what we've got is that, you know, this overlapping price structure, that if it did come down again, I would be a buyer, not a crier. But I think in time what we need to see for this pattern to play out is a break of this resistance, okay, which we keep getting rejected at. We see that broke, you know, we're up there where we created the pattern. Really simple. So those people who have been, you know, following the channel for a very long time, they will know that, you know, I've been looking at this falling wedge, you know, in this big monster correction when everyone was losing, you know, their minds and pulling their hair out. I said to you, I think this is a falling wedge. We've got this support, resistance, second support, third support, and what we're going to do is break on the third point of resistance, and we did exactly that. Once we break, we'll back test the resistance to support, big tick, we did exactly that. And this is confluence to the fact that I said to you, I think we'll come up here, we'll find resistance on this leg here, which we did, and then we'll make the all-time high, which we did. Okay, so we ran into the halving, and as expected, we're going sideways. Okay, chip chop, sideways, boring, shaking people out, but it's doing exactly what we anticipated. So I think that, you know, once we take out that resistance point, we've got the last leg left, and that's it. We've got the Bitcoin dominance sitting at resistance point. We've got the, you know, the weekly potential bullish divergence of the DXY. So everything's looking pretty rosy until we start to see a little bit more of a clue from here, you know, for Bitcoin, that it is actually really bearish. And by that I mean a major breakdown through support, retracement. You know, it's not looking too clever at that point. But at that point, it is hopium to say that that's going to happen with a certainty, which is what I see a lot of analysts projecting, especially perma bears like Crypto Savvy, you know, that's missed out on all of this because of biased technical analysis. So I try not to be biased in this space, but what I think we've got at the moment is a clear, beautiful falling wedge of an ABC. We've had this impulse, and right now we're going through this correction. And what we may have here is a broadening descending wedge. Okay, it's getting really tight, but effectively some kind of bull pennant, you know, bull flag, sorry, that's coming back like this. Okay, so once we take that resistance point out, it should be all systems go. So what is the big pattern here for Bitcoin? So from this point here, we had this major resistance point in, I think it was April 2021, then we come back up and made the high, you know, some kind of bull trap. I think that was a B wave, as I've outlined to you so many times, and then this was a C wave drop. But in the process, I think what we've got here is a potential scenario is a monster reversal pattern that gives us clues that we've got this move here for Bitcoin. Okay, this is an inverse head and shoulders pattern. I've traded many of these over the years. I'll show you right now what I'm looking at. So we've got the left shoulder, the potential head. We ran into the resistance of the neckline on the possible right shoulder that we're forming right now. So once we come back up and take out this resistance point, we will see a major move here for Bitcoin. Okay, potentially. You know, that's the head. The target will be from there to there. You're looking at a massive move here, you know, a potential 300k Bitcoin. Obviously, it's a bit of hopium of a potential reversal pattern, but it is a pattern that's potentially at play at the moment. So the invalidation of such going forward is really simple. We break down below the head, invalidates this potential monster, inverse and shoulders pattern that we're looking at right now for Bitcoin, which will lead to a huge expansion to the upside and could be the clue that, you know, we are about to see the continuation of the bull run. So if I move to the left, you know, at this point here, I remember it was September 2020, Bitcoin is crabbing it, coming out the, you know, the basically the corona dump right there, got the V shape into resistance. And I know, you know, Savvy and a lot of analysts were looking at something like that, okay, but I was actually looking at this because it was just right on cue with everything that was happening in the previous cycle. So I think that possibly we're at this point here, this pivot point, you know, come September, October, we just flourished and continued the bull run into the new year for Bitcoin. I think that's exactly where we are given the timeline right now for Bitcoin. If we break this resistance point and take out this neckline, Bitcoin could seriously run here, as well as some of the altcoins in their potential big third waves that I've got my eyes on. Okay, so like I said to you, for example, Chainlink, I think it's at a 1, it's now in a 2. VeChain is at a 1, it's now in a 2. Cardano's at a 1, it's now in a 2. It's just simple technical analysis. For example, XRP is at a 1, it's now in a 2. So this next wave is a third wave, third wave, third wave, third wave, basically alt season, and the clue is in the potential scenario of Bitcoin breaking this resistance and this neckline to create that, you know, monster vertical, which is what we see at the end of every bull run. But pay attention to the DXY. If we do start to see that, you know, that bullish divergence on the weekly, then I think that's a clue to get out. Okay, so I wish I hadn't most luck, but in a minute, possibly some kind of, you know, broadening descending pattern, which is, oh no, it's going to 0, but it's not. It's a bullish reversal pattern. You come up in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're overlapping corrective waves coming back. This is looking for a potential expansion to the upside. I wish everyone was luck. I'd look for some trades. I'll post them in the Discord for the CoinsKid crew. Back to another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.